Hello! Today we are going to learn about contractions. So we are going to be reading the book If You Were a Contraction by Trisha Shaskan. And the definition of a contraction is a word made by combining two words and leaving out a letter or letters. For an example, you can take the word I am and change it into I. You put an apostrophe where the A would have gone, and then you put an M, and then you got I'm. So I am becomes I'm. Okay, so let's see what other contractions we can find. And at the end of the book, there's an activity where you get to make your own contractions. So I'll put those in the directions so you guys can practice those if you would like. Okay. Are we looking for contractions? Watch for the big words throughout the book. If you were a contraction, your best friend would be the apostrophe. Remember, that's an apostrophe. You could change could not to couldn't and would not to wouldn't. So if you look, they have could, not, they take out the O, and they make couldn't with an apostrophe T. And then they have would not, they take out the O, and then they have would N with an apostrophe T. If you were a contraction, you would be made by combining two words and leaving out a letter or letters. You would use an apostrophe to take the place of the missing letter or letters. Who's going to the store? Mama asks. So whose? Where do we think that whose came from? So if we have whose, we know we've got who, so that's our main word. And then we have an apostrophe S. What could that be? Oh my gosh, what if whose was who is? Let's see if it still fits in the sentence. Who is going to the store? Mama asks. That makes sense. I'm going, says Papa. I'm going, says Sister. And we already did I'm, so we know that that's a contraction for I am. We're all going, Brother says. What do you think we're is? Tell the answer to your friend at home, and we'll check that. Who is becomes who. I am becomes I'm. We are becomes we're. Did you say we are? Because if you said we are, then you are correct. If you were a contraction, you would add the word not to another word. Papa, don't hog the pancakes. You shouldn't overeat, Mama said. So do not becomes don't. Should not becomes shouldn't. And would not becomes wouldn't. Because on the next page he says, don't worry, I wouldn't dream of it, Papa says. If you were a contraction, you could add the word is to another word. Who's missing a hat, Mama asked. I am, Sister said. Where's my hat now? It's right here, Brother said. So who is becomes whose, where is becomes where's, and it is becomes its. If you were a contraction, you could add the word are to another word. The family enjoys the beach. They're building a sand sculpture. We're creating a piece of art, Sister exclaimed. And you're all dirty, Papa said. And we see down here, they are becomes their, we are becomes we're, and you are becomes your. If you were a contraction, you could pair with the pronoun I with another word. I am becomes I'm, I will becomes I'll, I would becomes I. So I think the tricky one there is I would becomes I. And we know that I is a pronoun because it takes the place of a noun. So instead of saying Miss Lydia would, we say I would, so we could make a contraction out of it. I'm wearing my rubber boots so I can splash in the puddles, sister says. I'll wear my raincoat, brother says. I'd wear rubber boots and a coat, Papa says. So if I'd wasn't a contraction, it would say, I would wear rubber boots and a coat, Papa says. So it still makes sense if it's a contraction or not, which is how we know that the contraction works. If you were a contraction, you could talk about the past. You could explain what did and did not happen. The pigs hadn't cleaned in a long time. Hadn't cleaned the house for a long time. We should have remembered to take out the trash, Mama said. It would have helped with the smell, Papa said. It could have helped with the bugs too, Brother said. So all these are in past tense, and past tense means something that happened before. Present tense is now, future tense hasn't happened yet, and past tense is what happened in the past. So had not became hadn't, should have becomes should have, would have becomes would have, and could have becomes could have. So that's how we talk about the past with contractions. If you were a contraction, you could take place in the present. So remember, the present is what's happening now. What's for dinner, Papa asks. I'm having cookies, Brother says. I'm having popcorn, Sister says. Let's have pasta, Mama says. Everyone says, that's a great idea. So what is becomes what's. I am becomes I'm. Let us becomes let's. And that is becomes that's. If you were a contraction, you could take place in the future. Papa says he'll learn to play the trombone. Sister says she'll learn to play the trumpet. Mama says she'll learn to be a singer. Brother says he'll learn to play the piano. They'll be one fun family big band. So he will becomes he'll, she will become she'll, and they will becomes they'll. You and the apostrophe would always shorten things up if you were a contraction. So these are the words that I'm going to put at the bottom that you can have your own fun time making contractions with. I hope you enjoyed this book and this lesson about contractions. I will see you again soon. Bye.